Alright everybody, and welcome back to Quest for Glory 2, Trial by Fire. When last we left off, I was talking about exploring the desert regions here a little bit. You'll probably be happy to know, or maybe not, I don't know, only you can determine your own happiness. But you might be happy to know that this game is kind of the reverse of the last game's design. Whereas that had a lot of locations in the forest and such to explore, this one's mostly centered around the cities. So we'll mostly just be exploring Shapir and Rasir respectively in this game. Not so much exploring the desert, but there are a few places worth mentioning here. So we're headed out west, or is it east? Yeah, we're headed out west, and we're gonna do some exploring along this yonder mountain range. Oh my Jesus! It's a Birdman. The griffin looks like a cross between a lion and an eagle. It seems to be sleeping. Well, we'll just not bother him. So we have a little bit of magic. I did rest up a little bit since last episode. We have a little bit of magic back. So let's go ahead and we'll do some detect magic here. Detect no magic in this area. Well, that's good. What do we have down here? You can see part of a feather sticking out from under a rock near the cliff base. Well, I clearly need that rock, or that feather, so let's move it here. The rock is firmly embedded in the sand. Well, that's a problem. So, this is one of those things I was talking about with grinding, and poor example. Try that a few times. As you can see, my strength is now at 35, so my strength is going up just from doing that. My stamina is going down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try for a little while to get this yonder feather here. And that way I can build up my stats a little bit. Now there are other ways we could get a feather, but this way will actually grind up my stats a little bit. So I'm going to fast forward through that because you don't want to see me just clicking on this rock over and over again. But we will get it done eventually. Back here in just a second. Alright. The rock was heavy, but after the sand was moved, you managed to get the rock off the feather. And we now retrieve our feather. You pick up a large feather and you put it away. And that, boys and girls, is how you grind up your strength to 60, and you get a little bit smarter in the process. So we've done so much work trying to free this yonder rock over here, or this feather over here, that it is actually nighttime already. The night is rather young. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to call our explorations for today. We're going to hop on back to the inn and get ourselves a fine night's rest after we deal with this. Oh my god. Please call. Good day. Oh god. Yeah, I don't think we can fight these guys over here. Okay, well, we tried dazzling them. I don't think we're going to be able to fight all these jackals here, but I'll give it a shot, just for your amusement. Bam! And they're all whacking at me right now. No, time to go. I've had enough of this. This is clearly not going to work. They're stomping me. And I don't like being stomped. Oh god, they flanked me! Clever! Clever! Didn't really see that coming, but clever. And we ran back to a screen that actually had stuff on it, so they went away. A little anticlimactic, I know, but what can you do? Let's go ahead and rest an hour so that it doesn't kill us running back to town. Ah, looks like there's some things up here in the sky. This constellation is said to resemble a Saurus. The stars here appear to form a dark hand. It's rather foreboding, don't you think? Well, let's hop on back to town for our little evening ritual there. Thank heavens! Thou hast survived the night of the desert. It can be truly dangerous when the sun is set. Yeah, so I'm noticing. You get attacked by jackalmen and they fuck your shit up. That's bad, we don't want that. Looks like everyone's packed up here in the plaza and moved away for the night. Hey, my personal space here, man. You're violating it. Hop on in the inn. It is hoped you enjoyed your first sights of our beautiful city of Shapir. It was quite tedious. Everyone just wants to talk about stuff. I actually like the dialogue in this game, but what can you do? Hey Abdullah, what's up? Tonight's meal is honeyed lamb with almonds and curried chicken. It is hopeful you will enjoy yourself. I do not. So one thing you can actually do with poor Shima here, you can actually flirt with Shima. You throw Shima a subtle wink and try out your most playful pickup lines. You are most kind to say such sweet things to me, hero friend. And she gets all awkward and runs away. I have to get on my feet to look at my stats. And that lowers your honor to do that. That's not very good, hitting on the guy's wife when he's right there. So how are you, Shima? Everything cool? My name, in our language, in the language of our people, means she of the dance. You're really one-dimensional, aren't you? Bye, Shima. We eat our food. And you don't have any... No, I know, we didn't, Spielberg, thank you. We don't really have anything else left to do today. Nothing specific, anyway. So let's go ahead and pack up till morning. Hopefully we'll get some of our mana and our health back. And I guess I can show you, well, you guys know what I'm going to do grinding-wise. I already showed you that, and you probably don't want to see that. Alright, so we got 50 mana, 50 stamina. It does not refill all of your stuff back up to full, unfortunately, so you got to make do with what you got. It did increase our stats a little bit, though, so that's cool. We're still well underpowered compared to what we could be. Welcome, hero. Yeah, morning yourself. Anything new going on today? Oh, noes. I know what today is. Let's get the hell on out of here. We gotta go visit the astronomer, and we had a few questions to ask some peoples. Do not forget that Shima dances this night. I'll remember. I sent you my best customer. I make you a deal. I sell you a duck. Okay, so this guy, I think some of you might have already guessed that or knew that, but Ali Chica here and another character in this game who we're going to meet here in a little bit are actually based off the Marx brothers, who I will confess I don't know a whole lot about, but I do know they're a reference to them. And if you actually say Marx to this guy, he's like, that's a good name for one who chases the chicks. Yeah, we're going to just leave you at that, buddy. Have fun and have a good day. So, I don't know why I went up here. So, yesterday we talked to the astronomer, and he said he might know our fortune if we told him a little bit about ourselves. So, we're going to go back and we're going to pay the astrologer here a visit. Ah, it is good that you've returned. There is much that I need to tell you. Alas, never before have I read such troubling signs as those which guide you. Your future is very dark. That sounds unpleasant. Welcome, may the stars smile upon you. Well, you're going to tell me about this fortune, yeah? Darkness will lead you into a tomb. You will walk in fire, earth, water, and air, through temptation, and at last into despair and desolation. Darkness will triumph unless you stop the last light. Maybe you should consider a new line of work and get out of this hero business. Have you considered accounting? No. You don't really have much else to say today, do you? No, well, let's not waste any more time with you. Good day, Abu. We're never going to talk to you ever again. Alright, let's head over to the apothecary right quick. This guy had a notice on the board, if you recall, so we're going to ask him a little bit about a little notice he made about ingredients. The desert is a wonderful source of components for my pills. What components would you be talking about? I am always out of scorpion venom to make poison cure pills and ghoul's claws for my experiments. I'll pay 20 dinars for the tail of a scorpion and 15 dinars for the claw of a ghoul. What experiments do you do? I'm trying to develop a pill which will protect against the effects of the claws of the ghoul. I have not been able to get many claws, for few ghouls are willing to give them to me, and few adventurers are willing to get them for me. Actually, he's trying to make the undead potion from the first game, and you can actually give him one if you brought one over. But, we did not, so that's that. Alright, well, that's fascinating and cool and stuff. Let's head on over to, Keapon shop. Ahoy, goy, howdy doody, what's up, Doc? I'm gonna kill myself, that's what's up. What you doing with me? So you talked a little bit about this dervish fella. If you remember his note that he put on the Adventurers Guild wall. The dervish in the desert oversees his own oasis as he sits upon the sands by the shore of his small spring. It's somewhere south of Shapir, and in inches a bit east. If you're gonna go and gab with them, you'd better take a beast. So what about this whirl? Notice my note, mister? It's the wish of the whirl of the dervish. I will pay 1,500 centimes, in dinars of course, for such a thing. All you have to do is find it. Yep. Good day. How do you do? I do. Good night, and don't let the bed bugs bite, or put their foot in your ass. References no one will get. So let's see. What else can we do today? We just need to kill a bit of time until this afternoon. I know what we can do. We still have a little bit to look at out in the desert, and we'll go and, Yeah, shush you. I'm not buying any more of your crap. Ah, there you are. I've been looking for you. Although for the life of me, I can't imagine why. I'm Ali Fakir. Honest Ali Fakir. Welcome to Honest Ali Fakir's used Saurus lot. If we don't have the Saurus you want, then you don't want one. Do I want one? Of course. Even if you don't want one, I'll be happy to sell you one. Whoop. If you ride one, that's exactly what you get. Oh God, you never stop talking. You never know when a Saurus might come in handy. Why, just the other day you were thinking to yourself, you thought, if only I had someone to play pinochle with. If you had a Saurus, you still couldn't play pinochle. Couldn't even pronounce it. I think I actually did pronounce that correctly for once. It just goes to show you. And speaking of shows, I've got the Saurus for you. The Saurus, that's where you look for the synonyms. And speaking of sin, when it comes to Sauruses, well, let's just keep your personal preferences a secret, shall we? They don't call it a Saurus Rex for nothing. Everyone in this game makes me want to hang myself. Well, we do want a Saurus. I wondered when we would get around to a reasonable question. Do you have any idea how much a Saurus is worth? What price glory? Never mind that now. I'll be happy to sell you a Saurus for 100 dinars, but I'll settle for 50. No. Was that, no, I want to buy a Saurus? Or, I know I want to buy a Saurus? You really gotta pronounce things clearly, you know. Or maybe you don't. At any rate, I'm here to sell you a Saurus, and you're ready to buy it, right? No. Alright, let's get this story straight. You want to buy a Saurus, and I'm trying to sell you one. Does that make sense to you? No. Alright, let's try it this way. I've got the Saurus for you, and you're looking for the words to say how much you want him. Because that's why you need the Saurus, of course. How about we barter for it? Let's see, my asking price was 50, and your calling price 10. I raised you 2 clubs, you doubled, I redoubled, the stock market crashed, I doubled your double, you called me... And we came to a gentleman's agreement of 40 dinars. How we got the gentleman to agree is beyond me. Let's barter again. You certainly know how to drive a hard bargain. Why don't we just agree to 30 for the bridle, saddle, and Saurus? Barter them again. Well, we certainly are going nowhere fast. I'm willing to make you my best offer, 20 dinars, and you ride away on a new, for you, Saurus. What do you say? Barter. You know, you drive a hard bargain, and I respect that in a man. Whether I'll respect you in the morning is something else. This is my last and final offer. 10 dinars. If I go any lower, I'll have to stand on a chair to take your money. Now, do we have a deal, or is this a deal? We do indeed have a deal. We do indeed have a deal. Just take it. Take it. You pay the man his money. Just a minute, and I'll introduce your Saurus to you. Ah, true love at first sight. And what a sight for Saurus eyes. Seeing that you two kids are hitting it off from the start, it sounds like a good time to start heading off. Hello, I must be going. An exit line if I ever heard one. I'll be honored to put your Saurus back into the stables for you, Effendi. Okay, thankfully we never have to see him again. Seem to think that about a lot of characters in this game. Ugh. Oh God. I don't know if we can take on the Scorpion here. I'm actually kind of scared we won't be able to, but I'll try. For you. My beloved audience. All 3 of you. Jabam! I actually did knock him back a little bit. Oh, you can block my fireball? You're good at that. You're pretty good at it too, jeez. Alright, try it out. That wasn't even close enough. I gotta say this is not... Okay. Fuck you too then. No! Fuck you! Fuck you! No! 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 Okay, let's, Oh, nice of you. You could have joined me in the fight, you know. I've heard most Sauruses are great warriors, and you're just terrible. Well, let's check and see what's up the other side of this yonder mountain over here. Jesus. Gee. Oh, God. He teleported. Scorpions are magical like that. Yep, he's still after us, but he stopped. That's how you know this screen's important. It's even got pretty music. And you're a pretty fancy-looking tree over here. The plant almost looks like a woman. Almost. I poke it. Let's examine the tree. It almost looks like a woman. Thank you. I don't want rocks. I will search the tree. There is nothing hidden in the tree. You can hug it. Ah, we're living the hippie dream. The act of hugging the tree is fruitless. And I guess we can go ahead and water it. We're nice people. The water, as you pour it out on the ground, quickly sinks into the soil and vanishes. Well, we did our good deed for today. So is there anything special about this tree maybe that we can't quite perceive here? You sense a great deal of magic coming from the tree. So it's clearly magical. Can we trigger the tree? Trigger the tree? It's hard to say. The enchantment on the tree is far too strong to be removed by your trigger spell. You'll have to think of something else. We scorch the tree. This is a great idea. Shabams! Oh. You broke the monitor screen! Off you go to the computer store for a new monitor. By the way, real heroes don't cast spells at ladies, even rather stiff ones. Get it? 'Cause it's a tree. Alright, well, I think we've seen about everything we need to see here. Back to the town! Good day, Effendi. I see you left your Saurus out in the desert like an irresponsible owner. Most Sauruses find their way back here to the stables. If you don't, I guess you're just screwed. Well, that was a fun little adventure, and as he says, the Saurus will find its way back if you lose it out there, which is pretty easy, considering they tend to run away all the time. Genuine Saurus foot! Genuine Saurus foot trash can for the Mother's Day. Show your mother what you think of her. I need the good drugs. Alright, so there's not really a whole lot left for me to do at the moment, but fortunately, we can revel in our lethargy here. Welcome, hero. Yeah, good, welcome yourself. So one good thing about this game over the last one, you can actually kind of fast forward your days a little bit. And our friend, he awakened much refreshed as the sun sets behind the mountains. I think our hero actually does have lethargy, though, because he will be sleeping a lot. A lot, you'll see. Anywho, our friend did ask us to come watch his wife dance. A little weird, but whatever floats your boat, I suppose. If you will be seated, then you will see my Shima dance. Must I? Alright, let's just get this over with. We'll sit down and we'll watch you dance. I better be entertained. Oh, God. Dar. Her tail kind of looks like she has a big floppy dip. Just saying. Sorry, I became a 12-year-old for a minute there. As if I was ever anything else. And thus fairy porn was born. Yay. You applaud long and hard for your friend Shima's dancing prowess. I would like alcohol now. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, we know what time it is. What are my stats at? Okay, we got a full bar of mana now. I'm gonna run out into the desert and do that thing I do with the rock. It'll be fascinating. But then we're gonna come back here and we're gonna be lethargic just as okay, he's gonna give us a key. In case you do not make it back to the inn before closing time, take our spare key. We lock the inn shortly after midnight. Take care not to lose it. A night spent on the stones of the plaza drags on forever. You take the key to the front door from Shamin. You're very trusting, Shamin. May thee be granted a happy evening, Effendi. So one fucked up thing you can do, you can actually sell this key to someone who wants to break into your friend's inn and steal all their shit. Which is kind of fucked up if you think about it, and even if you don't really. Oh, go away. Go away, I'm just coming out here to attack a rock. I'm not a fighter. Feel like I want to do interesting things? Why am I still talking? Alright, we don't have enough mana to cast this spell, but our intelligence and our vitality has gone up. Let's go ahead and rest a little bit, and we're gonna still not have enough mana to cast a spell. So, there you go. Alright, so we're gonna let the lethargy begin. We're gonna go and sleep, and we're gonna wake up, and we're gonna sleep again. Because we need to... Yeah, shush you. No one cares. No one cares about you. Let's have ourselves a little bit of a nap. Alright, mana's not really full. Our health is full, though. So is our stamina. That's really cool. The poet Omar will thrill all who hear with his words of song after the setting of the sun in our own inn. We'll have to make sure to see that. Please stop talking. Jesus. Alright, well, we're going to do a little bit of running around today. Nothing great for the camera, though. So I will, for the sake of brevity, spare you guys that. I'm just going to run to the Adventurers Guild and practice a little bit. Actually, she has a little bit to say, and we didn't interrogate her yet, so we can do that. It's good sometimes to have Simba with Rakish. Hard to feel like a strong warrior when feeding baby. Maybe you and I do some practice with weapons today. We haven't interrogated the hell out of you yet, have we? Actually, I think we did a little bit. So what can you tell me about Shapir? This be a good place to stay while Simba be small. Soon he be big enough to travel. Then we be going back to my home. So what can you tell me about this here, Adventurers Guild? This place I be working while Simba be small. I be good fighter, good adventurer. You need help fighting, I be good teacher too. Yeah, good at kicking my ass. What's that book? That be where you sign in to be adventurer of Shapir. Which we did. We don't really need to talk about any of this. Tell me about Rakish. Rakish be very fine warrior. He knows to be gentle and kind, too. Very wise, very strong, but his leg be plenty bad. Hurt him all the time. And what happened to it? We already know what happened to his leg, but we'll ask her about it. Rakish leg be broken badly and fight long time. It did not heal right. Tell me about your Simba. Simba means lion in my language. Rakish say he sounds like lion cub when he cries. No, he sounds annoying like every baby when they cry. So I'm going to spar with her right quick, and I'll fast forward through that. Brevity, baby. Alright, I actually knocked a little bit off of her health this time. Just a very little bit. Not enough to be worth mentioning. We're going to spend another hour listening to her stories. I wonder if Rakish is out here. There's a couple things I wanted to ask him.
Good day, a most pleasant one for those such as myself who like the heat, although most humans find it hot. Simba here is more like a lion. He is having a wonderful time.
Because he doesn't know how good air conditioning is. So, I think we've already talked to him about most things that he can tell us at the moment. So yeah, I don't think there's really anything all that new to ask him at the moment. Anywho, we did see that notice on the wall, and I kind of... Boy, you're interrupting me. Anywho, So we did have that thing on in the notice board that he had written, so let's ask him about paladins.
The way of the paladin is to seek, to know that which truly is. The paladin strives to learn his own inner nature and that of others. The paladin does whatever needs to be done to bring light to the world. Not for glory, not for gain. The paladin becomes a paladin because it is his will.
Wow, that's very interesting. So this guy seems like he might be a paladin, a lawful good guy who gets your party in trouble doing stupid shit. Anywho, you're just like every other baby I've ever known in my entire life, really annoying. Anywho, we're gonna move on with ourselves now. We do want to hear Omar talk, but that won't be till later tonight. So what we can do, we can pop on back and continue our oversleeping. It's pretty much a simulation of my life, really. We awaken and we're gonna go see what this Omar fellow has, and I can butcher all of his poems. It'll be great. The poet will soon speak, if you will but be seated. Hey man, how's it going?
By actions rash, a person might then find that others take exceptions to his crime, and rudeness returned rudely thus remind that person to return to things sublime.
It would be best if a person would sit down, so that Poet Omar might read and illuminate the minds of all who hear. I'm gonna hear this guy's words.
In the month of the serpent, in the year of the jinn, a shadow passed over the Kata's tail inn. Astrologers foretell that doom shall come to dwell, and Shapir shall be but sand upon the wind.
We're all dust in the wind, man.
Comes a hero from the north, riding on the very air, and this sign is the first, to then beware. For darkness soon shall fall, and the shadows cover all, the city and the ones now living there. The first doom shall be fire, which shall burn the very stone. The next is air, and rocks are overthrown. Stone shall be the third, then the final doom is heard, the water gone, and the city parched like bone. Unless the one called hero is a hero true indeed, who comes to help the city in its time of need, then we'll face the depths of doom, in the darkness of the tomb. From the elemental's master we are freed.
That seems like it was related to us somehow, 'cause we're a big sexy hero man. So, Omar, my dude, how's it going?
I am the poet, teller of tales that all might hear, speaker of speeches, weaver of words for all Shapir, the giver of gossip, writer of rhymes, narrator of news. I am called Omar, the teacher of truth to all now here.
The poet is a source of information and entertainment for the land. Who's your buddy there?
Companion, conscience, ready to defend, teller to those that they may comprehend. A man of pride, yet sits he by my side, a person I am pleased to call my friend.
The poet, may his poems be praised, is most flattering in his assessment of me. I am but his follower. Tell me of the poem.
A poem is but words used in a different way, in which the meaning is far more than words can say.
A poem goes beyond the mere meaning of its words to express the deeper truths within them. Tell me about yourself, Omar. Well, we already talked about him. So, well, there's not usually anyone who has any daily news we can ask anyway.
News abounds in this city and land, and of such I speak, may ye learn what ye can.
The poem would be happy to discuss such matters with you. You know any rumors?
It is whispered by the Kata that a hero had been sought, by their kindred seeking elsewhere in this city he was brought. From their homeland where they were banished, now they seek there to return, and their hero shall return them to the place they ever yearn.
The Kata were driven from their home in Rasir last year, It is said that they now have a hero who shall return their home to them. You're not talking about me, are you? I didn't sign up for that. What do you know of good old Shapir?
From the mountains whose tips touch the stars, to the city streets filled with bazaars, to the deserts of flowing golden sand, a tapestry of art across the land.
The beauty of this land must be experienced to truly appreciate it. That wasn't helpful. I'm not asking you about all this, but we'll ask you about a couple things. What do you know of Aziza?
A wizard woman weaves the warp of spells by which is watched what incidents befell. Aziza sees the present and the past, perceives what is, and thus shall be foretells.
The enchantress Aziza uses her magic to see events which occur in this land. You take a long time to say very little. Well, I've had about enough of this. What can you tell me of Rasir?
The dark has touched her, and has turned aside all the things of light once did there abide. Rasir is left to crumble in despair, thus wickedness and folly now reside. But in the doer's arrogance and pride, the light grows ever stronger now outside. A hero strives to force the darkness back, and into the morning shall be Rasir's guide.
The city of Rasir has been overcome by darkness, yet there shall be a hero to return her to the light. What can you tell me about heroes? Like myself, for instance.
You may ask, what is a hero? Yet the answer is very clear. He's the one that faces fear when the darkness gathers near. A hero will brave darkness for a hero will brave the very darkness for the needs of others.
Well, tell me about this darkness.
The darkness gathers, and a man then strives to do evil to another. Darkness thrives. The darkness smiles, and those it gathers fight, delighting darkness as it takes their lives.
Darkness delights in doing evil. Well, let's thank him for his excellent poetry here. I should have read that.
You are most welcome, hero who came here. May you always be welcome in Shapir.
Such a thing was done with pleasure, hero, and needs no mention. We'll mention it anyway. We're also going to greet him and say goodbye, because I think that will raise our honor up a little bit in our communication, so that's good. Alright, well, there's not really a whole lot to do with what's left today, so I'm going to do my typical business, and I will see you guys in a little bit. You awaken much refreshed as the sun begins to rise. And we did boost up our intelligence and our magic just a little bit more, so we're getting there. We're getting there very slowly, but we're getting there. We'll boost up our skills to an acceptable level by the end of the game, I'm sure. Hero friend, a most strange fire has been seen outside of the inn. Take care as you leave. A fire sale today. I sell you real wood burned by a real fire elemental. Be the first on your block to own of this. What are you talking about, man? You gonna ask me questions or you gonna buy what I sell? I don't make a living off of answers. What about this fire elemental? The fire elemental, he burned down the place. I guess maybe he no likes the souvenirs. I believe I completely understand his problem. Well, you have a good day. What's the matter, you? You don't want a big deal when you don't like a big deal when you see it? Alright, so that's going to be our first little problem to tackle. But first we need to sleep more, because that's what we do. Alright, and it's now the morning of day 5. And we can actually do some things today, so that's really cool. As you can see, I boosted up my magic and my intelligence just a little bit more from my daily grinds. And let's go see what's going on out here today. Anything new, friends? What's going on? A dreadful fire elemental stalks the plazas, burning all it touches. Soon Shapir will be awash in flames. Hero, you must save us all again. I am pretty awesome. Hero, please take care of yourself. I worry for you. Let's thank her. So what can you tell me about this fire elemental, my friend? Living flame, which seek to consume everything. We shall be burned to cinders like a Saurus steak left too long on the grill. You're rather chipper. I'll eat my food. since I'm getting complained at for not eating my damn food. I think that's my prerogative if I want to eat my food. I didn't pay for it. What's new today? Well, you're not going to have anything under the daily news, it seems, but I'll ask you about it. There is much of which I have knowledge. Forgive me. I thought she did have something to say about the fire elemental. Ah, there we go. Elementals are dangerous and very destructive. Those wise in the ways of elements could tell you more. Well, I could think of a few people who might be able to tell me a little bit more. Oh God! It's a fire! Ow! He's burning our ass too. I think did he just burn the end of the sign? Calm down, son. We don't need none of that anger over here. You got anger problems. There is a strong sense of magic upon the fire elemental. Well, fireball's not going to do that much to it. Can we calm it? It'll take more than a calm spell to extinguish these flames. I see. Well, I'm going to guess fireball's not going to do anything to it, and this probably ain't a great choice either, so let's get the hell out of here. Maybe we go talk to some people who might know what they're talking about. How's it going, Harik? Ah, I did not see you come in. Have you seen the fire elemental? It is magic of the most marvelous kind, so very beautiful. The dancing flames. Ah, if I but had such a creature at my command, the pills I could make. You seem rather thrilled by this, I gotta say. So when you click on Daily News, it actually just tells you what the new topics are. What can you tell me about this fire elemental? You seem to know an awful lot about fire. Fire glowing in the very semblance of a man, a marvel to behold, and yet a deadly peril as well. To understand the fire elemental, you must know the flame. What can you tell me about flame? Watch this. See how the flame reacts to the incense? Fire is attracted to things it burns because it is very vain. You know, incense would make quite a lure for the fire elemental. It would be very possible to lure the fire elemental away from the plazas using this incense, and where it is weak from hunger and water, capture it. That's a thought. How about this incense? This incense is made from the finest frankincense. It should attract the flame as the moth is attracted to it. And it's only 70 centimes. That's nice. Well, we're gonna need to make a purchase. We need to buy some of that. Give me some of that incense. I want to use it to bait the fire elemental and save everybody's asses, but I don't want to pay too much for it. Very well, if it will save the city, you may take the incense. That's what I'm talking about. Didn't even hurt my honor. Good day. Make sure we have plenty of water in our water skins for what's going on here. You fill your water skins with cool, clear water from the fountain. Okay, well, we kind of know how to bait it. Anything else we could learn about this? I bet Jalo over here knows a little bit about fire elementals. Heard the one about the fire, sire? It's a torrid story. The fire elemental had a seething passion for a sultry old flame who burned him once. Seems his spark was worse than his spite. Their ardor be the law. Ugh. At least there will be a hot time in the old town tonight. Kill me. What can you know about the fire elemental? The fire elemental has a weakness for water. He lives in the fast lane, so you'll have to get him restrained if you want to make him remain, so that you can keep him contained. To get the flame to smother, don't ask me, go ask another. Yeah, clearly you're a waste of my time. Good day, sir. Well, there is another person we could ask, someone who knows about magic and doesn't make me suicidal, and that would be Aziza. Let's go see if she has anything interesting to say about this yonder elemental. Welcome, Slayle. Aziza, town's on fire! Come in, sit down, and we shall speak. Don't forget to be nice to her. You gotta be all prim and proper with her. She'll get angry. She'll throw stuff at you. Speaking of which, I didn't show that. I'll show you that in a little bit. Shall we share tea? Indeed we shall. The tea is cool and refreshing. You find yourself relaxing as you drink and listen to the sound of flowing water. Now that we have shared tea, what is it for which you have come? The town's on fire! You know what's going on today. There's an elemental on the loose. Tell me a little bit about elementals. Perhaps it would be well to show you, as well as tell you about such things. There are 4 basic elements which make up the universe: water, earth, air, and fire. An elemental is formed when magic shapes an element into a semblance of a living creature. Elementals are very powerful and destructive. They can be weakened by the contrary element, but they cannot be destroyed. Once awakened, the elemental can be captured. Once captured, the magical nature of the elemental can be used for helpful rather than harmful purposes. What about fire, specifically? Perhaps it would be better to show you as well as tell you about such things. The essence of fire is hunger. As long as there is something nearby to burn, it will be able to move freely. It can consume the very bricks which make up the floor of the plazas. Until it is contained, it cannot be controlled. The weakness of fire is water, but the elemental of fire will avoid water by moving away from its source. Unless you find some way to drive or lure the elemental away from the open plazas where there is much it can burn, to a more confined area, you will not be able to use water against it to capture it. Once it is captured and contained, it behaves as a magical flame. What are these contrary elements? The contrary element or weakness of fire is water. The weakness of water is air. The weakness of air is earth. And the weakness of earth is fire. Weakening an elemental will force it to seek escape and thus be captured in a suitable container. What kind of containers are we talking about here? An elemental trying to escape will be drawn to a container of an appropriate nature. If there is no container, then it will either flee or dissipate and reappear elsewhere. A container can be created by choosing an appropriate receptacle for the element, such as a water skin for water. Once the elemental has entered, its magical essence will be retained. One who thus captures an elemental will have power over it to use as he pleases. Well, thank you, Aziza. You've been mighty helpful. We will thank her for her help. And we are, of course, she says we're most welcome because she's all nice and spiffy. Let's say goodbye. We got an elemental to deal with. It has been a pleasure conversing with you. Perhaps we shall share tea again sometime. I'm sure that we will. Well, I think we have the incense, and that should serve as a lure if Haruka is to be trusted. So, what else do we have? We have some water, of course, and we would need a receptacle of some kind for the fire. We can't put fire in a basket, even though I tried once as a child and almost burned the house down. That's just another story. Can't put it in a cloth bag, but we do have this brass lamp. The shiny brass lamp is engraved on the bottom, Aladdin Lamp Company. You're carrying one. Can we rub the lamp? You examine the item but find nothing unusual about it. Missed opportunity, people. Missed opportunity. Alright, well, let's see if we can get this to work. If we can deal with yonder elemental by way of manipulating it. Alright, well, let's just try tossing some water at it. Yeah. The elemental easily dodges in the open plaza. Ow! Asshole. Well, fine. How about, you follow me? Ah! Burn my dick. Okay. You have lured the fire elemental away from the plaza. You must now try to weaken it and capture it. Get my water ready. Ooh-ah! Now, hopefully this works. Otherwise, we're going to get our ass burned. You drop the lamp. It is very hurt and angry. I have a new flame now, you say, to the lamp, and she's the light of my life. You couldn't hold a candle to her. But inside your heart burns with the loss of your bright young friend, the lamp. As you pick up the lamp and rub it, a small flame appears. When you rub it again, the flame goes away. You now have a magical lamp. You put the lamp safely away in your backpack. Yay. We a big hero, man. He doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Jesus. Jesus. Well, we have quite a bit left to our day. We might go ahead and do some practice today, but I think we'll just leave it here for now. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it a video. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys at a later time. I hope you guys are having fun, enjoying your sails, not enjoying yourselves too much. You'll go blind. Anyway, take care of yourselves, guys.